think it's worth pointing out, Bob, that we are now beginning our 9th season of this show. Well, it was a different name previously, but 9 years we're beginning now. It's unbelievable how long we've been doing this, right? And I want to say that this is of the 9 years, this is the most uncertain I felt about how to feel about the team going into the year. Like I have felt pretty sure of what the team is going to be each of the previous 8 seasons. They may not have lived up to the final expectation of it a couple times, but we knew that the team was going to be like legit.
We've been doing this so long that our first game that we had to react to was the Holby Milner game down in Atlanta when Gabe yanked Aaron Nola after like 72 pitches on opening day.
68, let's be exact. 68 pitches it was.
It's been a while. Yeah, he's nasty, brother. You know, like that's how long we've been doing this.
Yes, exactly. But like I really don't know. Like in my head, as I sit there and look at baseball and look at the teams and look at the competition, I do still believe this is the best team in the Eastern Division. I think it's a much tighter division. I think the Braves are going to be back. I think the Mets are improved. I still think the Phillies are the best team, but I can just as easily see them finishing 3rd in this division. So, like, I don't know exactly where I'm at with this team yet. I'm going to need to see some spring training and see how things are going a little bit before I can really, lock that in. But
to speak to that a little bit, if you just depending on where you look, I mean, the Phillies are favored in the East and at a couple of sports books. They're actually, I think, as low as 3rd in FanDuel. They're all over the place. I mean, I think even odds makers are looking at this and going like, wow, these 3 teams are very even. And I think that you have to give Atlanta almost feels like an afterthought in all of this, but I think that you have to give the Braves a little bit of a benefit of the doubt just in terms of the pedigree and how good they've been in recent years. And so they're still very much a factor for me as well. I think that what's interesting is that you don't know what they're going to be this year, and you don't know how the chips are going to fall. But in addition to that, even if you're able to reconcile the fact that, hey, I think this team's pretty good. I think it's a 90 to 92 3-win team. It's that within that expectation, which is kind of an optimistic or positive outlook, you have to then sort through the makeup of the roster and how you feel about what is going to be this 90 to 93 win team. Like you can sit here and be like, I think they're going to win the East, which you would think would get you fired up about it. But I think a lot of people are like, well, I expect them to win the NL East, and I also expect them to go out with a whimper 10 days later. And that to me is the added wrinkle. Like we heard Rob Thompson yesterday, I know you wanted to get to this, say that he's more excited about the team this year than he was a year ago. And I have a hard time with that. Like, how? Like, to me, it's like if you want to get like crazy and really like put the tinfoil hat on, I know it's going to be one of the topics today, but like the only way that I see that this Phillies team is better right now in their minds is addition through subtraction and getting rid of Nick Castellanos. Like that's really the only place that it's any different and potentially better.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's even – I mean, look, it'll be better defensively. We know that.
It'll be better defensively, and yes, like the back end of the bullpen should be markedly better, at least at the start of the season. Like
what I'm saying, but Garcia, offensively,
you don't know.
Maybe the same player as Castellanos, right? The bullpen, the back end of the bullpen is the only place you look at it and go, okay, there's an improvement.
Yeah.
But everywhere else I look at it, and it's either the same or it's a little bit less. I mean, I look at starting pitching, Bob, and, I know that they expect Wheeler to be back pretty soon into the season, so it's not like he's going to miss a lot of time. But we don't know what Zach Wheeler is going to look like. Like, we just don't, right? Yeah. We don't know what Andrew Painter is going to be. We're pretty confident we know what Sanchez and Luzardo are, but is Aaron Nola, is it a bounce-back year, or is he cooked, right? Like, I mean, there's an unknown there. There's an unknown at the 4 spot. Like, really, I mean,
what's amazing to me, and I'm an idiot because it just never in a million years did I think we were going to get to year 4 of the Taijuan Walker contract, where he's probably in the rotation. Now, look, It's February 10th. Listen to the GM yesterday. He's talking about how this is kind of a late developing market. He thinks that this is, or so he thinks, or so he says. It could be a spring training where there's deals made, whether it be trades or late ads. Maybe they bolster the rotation, add some depth. Like, to me, it's insane on February 10th. I know it's not a finished product, but you cannot go into the season with this being your full complement of options in your starting rotation. Like, there has to be at least a depth piece that comes into the mix here. So, I mean, yeah, you said it. Like, I don't know about Aaron Nola. I don't know about Andrew Painter. I don't know what Zach Wheeler is going to look like. And hey, Jesus Luzardo not playing in the World Baseball Classic. He did an interview about 2 weeks ago. I believe it was on MLB Network. He's like, look, I'm going into a free agency year. It was a hard decision not to participate, but like, I'm all in. I think he's going to have a massive year. I hope he does.
Right.
But we also watched that guy for 2 months last year, and we're like, what the hell are we watching here? Like, this guy went from being the All-Star game starter to like unusable. And so I love the guy. He showed a massive set of stones in the playoffs. And I expect big things, but I don't know that there's going to be big things. So it is question marks across the board here.
Yeah, and that to me is where my biggest concern is, because yes, they might add somebody, but like, really, what are you adding at this point? Like the name that's been out there, and it's funny because I think Tim Kelly was the first one to actually suggest it, and it was not without any like sourced information, but it's kind of gotten out there now as a real possibility. Is Walker Buehler? Like, does that excite anybody that he's the depth guy? Because if you bring him back, there is no one, like, there's no one in the organization, like, who. If somebody gets hurt, if Taijuan Walker is completely unusable, like, who comes in? Right now, it's like Alan Ronhell is really the next guy. Like, who's coming? Like, you don't have that.
You're not talking about a division where you have a ton of room for, like, hey, a month of just horrible starts with no solution. Like, this is going to be an ultra competitive division. So it's not the Phillies and everybody else slotting in at 80 to 68 wins. Like, you better protect yourself. And so these are real concerns. Now, there's obviously upside there. There's a world where you get a year removed or 2 years removed from Tommy John and Andrew Painter, and he is the guy that you expected that he'd be by 2026, and he pitches like a number 2 or even a number 3 starter. Nola does bounce back. Wheeler comes back and looks like Zach Wheeler, and then certainly Luzardo pitches in like that contract year to the way that gets him paid. I mean, it can all line up where they have a top 4 or 5 rotation by the end of the season, but there's a lot of room for variance here. And with a lineup that is aging and has holes and has concerns, if that variance slides too far the other way, like, they are going to be in trouble, where all of a sudden, like I've been saying on the whole offseason, it's still probably a 92-win team. I know it's hard to get excited about, but like, there's a world where it's like an 84-win team, and they're very disappointing.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And it could well go that way. Like, I still, right now, gun to my head, they're a 93-win team in my mind. But it could easily be 84, 85. Easily. Like, there's enough here that can be not good, and it slides backwards. Like, it could easily happen.